a recipe that I have made since the 80s. I know I said this on something else I've made, but seriously, this is something that my kids always enjoyed, families always liked, and even us two old people by ourselves like it. So here's some of the things we're going to need to make the meatballs. We have a pound of ground beef. This is the 80%, 80-20, whatever that is. A quarter cup of milk. We're going to use a dash of, what's this here sauce? A couple tablespoons of finely chopped onions. Now that's probably a little more, but I don't care. It's the kind of thing you can use whatever you want. An egg, some salt, and then we're doing something new here today. We're making this gluten-free. So typically I would use breadcrumbs for this, but we're gonna give a shot with a gluten-free panko and hope for the best. So here's what we're gonna do for all that. So into my ground beef, we're gonna put a quarter cup of the milk, the onions. By the way, I've used the dried minced onions before too, and that's absolutely perfect. It's less work if you have it around. The egg, and in there. Some salt. It's supposed to be a teaspoon of salt, so you know, I'm doing it the old way of just measuring a little bit in my hand. You can do it with measuring if you want. So we have about a teaspoon of salt. My shake of Worcestershire. Oops, that was more than one. And then the panko. Cross your fingers, this works. That's my plan. So I'm gonna mix this with my hands, and I do not like getting meat on my hands, but this is such a more thorough way of getting that mixed up. So we'll prepare for some meat surgery here. And you can use a spoon if you want, but this just comes out better. So I'm just gonna blend all this together really good here. Our oven is at 400. Looks like it's ready to go. It's kind of juicy. Where's it going? Trying to get that in there really thoroughly. This is a good thing that you can kind of do ahead, and you can sit for a while if your dinner is late. Or you could even make this ahead, like, you know, I used to make a lot of meals on Sundays, like when I worked and had kids. Okay, that looks pretty good to me. Geez, I know it's gonna be so noisy. All right, so now I have a 9x13 pan here. Now you can put these in a skillet, and you know, roll them, put them in the balls, and put them in a skillet and fry them up until they're done. But I found that makes them not stay round very good. The more you mess with them, the more they can stay round. And this is just easier. I don't have to babysit it. So I'm going to do the baking method. So we just make some little balls about this size. And just line them up in here. So we'll just do this for a couple minutes until I got it filled up.
Did you grease your pan?
Oh yes, I did spray my pan first. Thank you. It was made a little too big. And these can be used for in any kind of a sauce. You can make like a creamy sauce if you wanted to. You could also do half pork and half beef. Apparently that's the Swedish meatballs.
You could make spaghetti and meatballs.
You could make, yeah, that'd be good. And I had another thought too. What was it? Hard to keep a thought in this little brain sometimes. Go on, you get pretty good at estimating the size. It's supposed to make 20, but we'll see. This is perfect because this will be 2 dinners for us, which is always handy. I like that I don't have to cook one day, or Mr. Cook cooks is always good too. done. So when I have these all done, I'm going to put them in that 400-degree oven for 20 to 25 minutes. You can kind of tell when they get kind of golden. So, two more, I think. So you can see why I don't want that goo all over my hands. It's always so hard to get it off there. Two more. So the way we're making this recipe is trying to do our best to make it gluten-free. There's 2 ingredients that have gluten, and we're making substitutes for both those. Okay, so there we have it. Those are my meatballs. Since the oven's done, I'm gonna pop them in there and put the timer on for, I'll put it on for 20, but I think 25 is probably gonna be good. Okay, so we'll come back when those are done. Okay, so the timer went off. It's been 20 minutes. I think those look pretty good to me. They're gonna keep cooking in the sauce a little bit. So I'm gonna put those out there. Look good. All right. So here's our sauce ingredients. Brown sugar, half a cup, a tablespoon of cornstarch. We're going to use tamari instead of soy sauce, but you can use soy sauce. Most people have that on hand. I think that's also another tablespoon, a third of a cup of vinegar, and pineapple tidbits or pineapple chunks, whichever you prefer. It's not quite the whole can. It's about around 14 ounces worth of it, so the rest you can save for something else. So we're going to get started with the sauce here. I'm going to put the stove on kind of a medium heat and throw the sugar in there. Sorry about the hum. Hum's over there. I've got rice cooking to go with this for later. So I'm going to put a tablespoon of cornstarch in this. And we're going to mix that together. Yes, that cornstarch is going to be what thickens our sauce for this. Right now I'm just blending this up before I add the liquid ingredients. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Okay, now we're going to go with vinegar. That was a third of a cup. Huh?
Is there a flame? Yeah, there is.
It's low. I've got it kind of medium-low. The stove gets pretty hot. And then I'm going to add the pineapple with the juice, or it's actually, I don't know, it might be syrup. You never know. And a tablespoon of the tamari. Now, if you wanted to, you can add bell pepper to this. I don't do that.
How about habanero?
And yeah, sure. I've never added the bell pepper to it. That was in the recipe I used forever because you don't like it. But I mean, now I'm thinking of other things. Maybe some, maybe some pea pods or green beans, something. So what I'm doing now is I'm blending this, and I've got the heat. I need this to kind of come to a little bit of a boil so that it thickens. Oh yeah, a little splash of chipotle. Well, then it would be hot and sour, hot, sweet and sour. That's actually sounds really kind of good. You want to add that to everything.
I do. It's my new favorite
I've been doing it.
ingredient.
Oh, that's kind of a good idea. All right, well, let's just give this some time and come to boil. All right, so this is, I had to turn it up just a little bit more to sort of just a little bit above medium, the way our stove is. You can see this is starting to bubble and thicken. Now we're getting somewhere. You can cook that for about a minute so it's nice, thick and gravy. Smells good. Now look at that, it's like a glaze. Looking at that pineapple, I'm like, which is better, the chunks or the... I think because I don't want a big, gigantic chunk of pineapple, but I guess guess it's just do you.
Yeah.
You do you.
Either one's gonna be good. I'm remembering how delicious this is now that I see it.
Yeah, it's a good one. Yeah, that looks great. Alright, so next thing I'm going to do now that this is nice and thick is add these meatballs. Now, if you decide to cook the meatballs in the pan, when they're done, you take the meatballs out of the pan, drain off most of the grease, but leave the, the drippings, as they call it. Okay. These all in here. And then I'll stir them around in there in a minute's heat.
So yeah, they held together.
They did. They're really good. This might be fine. This gluten-free journey is kind of a pain in the butt. And I'm going to try to get some of that sauce around on these. And then we're going to just leave that in there for at least 5 minutes. This is a great one, like I said, that you can put it all together and then just put it on low to keep it warm and serve it up when you're ready. Yeah, my mouth's watering. We haven't had this in a while.
Mm-hmm. Has been a while.
Yeah, at least probably a year. Okay, so there we have that. All right, I'm just gonna let that sit for 5 minutes and let that absorb. I'm coming in for my lid. Just keep it like that. All right, so we'll give it a few minutes and come back and dish it up. Okay, so looks like we're ready to dish up here. Got some rice to lay down on the bottom. So we eat funny sometimes, and we are really just having rice and the sweet and sour meatballs. We can do that because we're grown-ups. Oops, shoot. Grapes. Some rice. This would be good with even some fried rice or something like that. Carving it out again tonight. Okay. And some meatballs. How many do you want?
Bunch.
I'm making a mess. I'll give you 5, I think.
Okay, sounds perfect.
Mm-hmm. Some for me. 4. I'm doing a sloppy job.
Gonna get some gravy.
I know, get some of that good sweet sauce in there. Does yours have enough?
I think so.
Okay, one more. Okay. I'm gonna clean my plate up a little bit. It's gotta be beautiful. Because you eat with your eyes first. Okay. There we go. Now I'm going to put just a little bit of fresh parsley on here just because I want it to have a little bit of contrasting color. Not on the edge of the plate. That is a pet peeve of mine. When the plate comes out with all that stuff on there. And then we've got a little
And this is fresh parsley.
fresh parsley from the garden.
Not
Yeah.
that dried
And-
stuff.
Oh yeah, that's terrible. And then this is a flower from the chive, which we love. It adds this beautiful little color. And just a hint of spice to it. But that'll be pretty on there. A little bit more. Just let it rain. Okay. So there we go. So sweet and sour meatballs with rice. And I'm gonna try it now. I know what it tastes like, but you know, 'cause that's what we do. Nice and tender. That's really good. Of course, we always say that. I do think that the chipotle would be a really good idea, but this is nice and sweet. That's probably why the kids always liked it. Pineapple is good in there. we're gonna devour this. So there you have it. Thanks for watching Two Cooks in the Kitchen. Remember to subscribe to our channel. That would help us out a lot. And we'll see you next time.